Go through and, you know, they look at you and then wave you on. Well, this time I said leave the lights on so they can't read that license plate. And once they wave us on, just go. And that's what we did. So we got through the checkpoint.
We got through the checkpoints, yes.
We didn't get pulled over.
No, we did not, because I drove home.
Yeah, because we have too much fun in the Philippines, don't we?
We do illegal shit.
We don't do illegal shit.
Legal driving, not any kind of other illegal stuff, though. We're good
No drugs or anything.
We're good with that department. We don't do that stuff.
We did do the drinking and driving once upon a time.
Yeah, you know.
But it was legal at the time. It's not legal anymore, is it?
No. They're strict now with that. I think we should go before another pour.
Let's go. We leaving the monkey in there?
I think he's about to pass out.
Okay, that's what it is. See you later, guys. Yeah, okay, so I got to kind of redo that. I'm back right now. I just got back. Dumped my load of compost off. Reloaded with a load of hay. I think my father is coming up behind me. I'm going to document what happened, and then I'm going to show you what happened. So I'm driving down Route 95 in the middle lane, minding my own business. I don't like being in the right lane because we just came out of the cattle chutes, as I call them, which are very tight construction areas where you barely have enough room to drive a Toyota Corolla down the road, let alone a semi. So as I was going down through there, out on my left-hand side, out of the blue, comes a black car, and this is just from my recollection. I have it on video right there. I have a Nexar camera system right there. Those actually kick on if a person walks in front of my truck. This truck can be sitting here completely dormant, and if they senses motion, a deer, a person, a car, or whatever, it'll kick on and record for a few seconds, just to kind of like a security system for the truck and my tractors as well. But this car comes flying up my left-hand side. It hits the front of my truck. I'll show you that damage. And then it hits the car that was in the fast lane in front of him that was braking, rear-ended that car. That car proceeded to rear-end. Now, this is all from my recollection. We'll see what it is on video because I've got it. Then it shot across in front of me, smacked into another car, then came back across and caused a whole nother chain reaction of events. And, yeah. So, I'm going to pull my SD card out if I can. It's been in there the whole time. Oh, come on, baby. There's SD cards that come with these things. There it is. So there's my little card. I'm gonna put that in my mouth. I gotta grab my coffee cup, and I'll show you the damage to my truck, my Peterbilt. Hold on a second. So, hold on. The damage to Peterbilt is minimal. You can see where the aluminum from his rim hit my truck. Right there, there's a piece of aluminum there, and there's some more aluminum chips there. You can see some rim damage, no damage, just it kind of marked it up, and it bent my bumper forward. And that's what it did. I just put that bumper on there too, maybe 6 months ago. Maybe it's been a year or so ago. I think it was winter time when I did it. It hit that bumper so hard that it actually jarred the truck and catapulted that car sideways. It went like that. But I guess with no further ado, I'm going to go home. I'm going to throw this in and see what I got. We'll see what I got. So I hope you enjoy the video, and we'll see what happens. It's going to be fun to watch it. Good. What in the hell was that for? Alright, so I think the whole ag world right now is in a world of weirdness. Get a couple of cough drops all around, and I don't like to take drugs, so I just use cough drops to keep the pollen from giving me an issue. Anyway, the whole ag world is in a weird place right now. Out west, they're either in droughts or floods. Rain preventing them from getting everything planted the way they need it to be planted. I planted soybeans, got 4 inches of rain on it. Yes, I planted them a little bit deeper than they should have been planted, but, and the reason I say that they were too deep wasn't because I did it on purpose. It was just because that was the hole I usually planted with on the drill, the depth. So, and it would have been just fine hadn't we got 4 inches of rain on it, caused the ground to get hard, which is what I'm going to try and prevent from happening with the Regen Ag program, composting and organic matter and all that other fun stuff to try and regenerate this soil to become soft enough I don't have to worry about my depth as much as normal. So soybeans, these ended up about 2.25, 2.5 inches deep, and then it got hard, which I'm sure a lot of you are like, oh well, that's not too deep. Well, it's not on a normal year. But I think that I think two things happened. One was the Needham Ag firming wheel firmed them down right to the bottom of the trench, and the Needham Ag firming wheel firmed them right to the bottom of the trench. 4 to 5 inches of rain just pressed them, made the soil saturated, and I mean saturated. And then from there, it went from saturation to concrete. And then we got a little bit of rain, but not enough to actually make them come through the ground. So I've got that issue. So what I'm going to do is I'm right now going to get Miss Teresa in the grain drill, and she's going to be doing replanting at about a 20 to 25 pound to the acre rate from 70. I don't want to go that high, but if I go any lower, the drill won't drill. It won't put anything in the ground. So what that's going to do is it's going to damage some of the beans that are up. Let me turn that a little bit. It's going to damage some of the beans that are up, and it's going to cause some of the beans that are up to some of the beans that are down low in the soil, not through the soil, to come on up. So what I'm hoping is going to happen is that that we replant these things. The beans that I put in their place actually grow good, come up good, and the beans that are below the surface that can't quite make it through the ground, breaks them up, allows them to come up, because they are alive down there. And I've shallowed up the drill to the second hole, not the third hole, and it really annoys me because that's the hole that I always drilled on, was the third hole for soybeans. And there's two things that could have done that, caused the extreme depth to happen. One is the Needham Ag seed firmer, and the other thing is, this time when I rebuilt the drill, I actually put the disc opener on correctly. The last time I didn't put it on correctly. I was never satisfied with this thing as a no-till drill, but now as a no-till drill with the Needham Ag Forge Deneau disc opener put on the right direction, it cuts. It cuts through everything. It don't play around. So anyway, with that being said, I'm going to walk down here to this field that I'm at right now, and I'm going to show you why. Well, this field here is probably okay. I was down here yesterday. Excuse the wind noise, I'll try to block. All right, sometimes you got to do things that are tight on sprayers or just about any piece of equipment. So this is the rinse tank. It holds about 110 gallons of rinse water or a different a different product. So if you had a field that you maybe you had a different issue on one end, and the big tank was just for fertilizer or whatnot, you'd go through and you would spray your fertilizer out, and then you would run your water, your 110 gallons in, and then you can change your rate up in the cab there and go back over the affected area if you wanted to. But this is just a rinse tank or a extra water tank. You can pump it into the main tank, or you can just spray out of that tank to clean your booms out at the edge of the field or whatnot, and these work really, really good. If you're going to mix chemical, I wouldn't suggest mixing chemical into this tank. I would suggest pumping the water from this tank into the big tank and then mixing your chemical in and going back over it. So if you had like a 50-acre farm or a 100-acre farm, and you're doing whatever, and you got water on board already, and you need some Roundup or another 2,4-D or another product, you go ahead and you put it in there, and then boom, into there and go spot spray. I've done that many times, but my problem is that the hose that comes out of the bottom on the other side, I have a brand new one sitting over there. It cracked, whether I ran something over and split the hose, but it's old and it needs to be replaced. So that is what I am doing right now. So I'm going to stuff you under this sprayer like so, and you're going to watch me wrangle around in there until I get it right. I took my glove off to run the camera because I had to format the card, but I do have different types of tools. Like this is a DeWalt tool. These work really, really good. This is a little impact gun, and you just pop your little band off of there. Now, the other issue with this is because this hose has been on for so long, it's gonna need to be cut to get it off. And this is a suction line, so it has these plastic bands. The yellow plastic goes all the way around it, and that causes it keeps it from collapsing when if your filter or something plugs up, or if it's pulling too hard, and it just keeps it from being a pain in the neck. How's that sound? It keeps it from collapsing. I'm trying to turn it on there, and for some reason I cannot. So it's definitely going to have to get cut, but my knife is too dull. So I have a razor knife I can go get. It's just a little razor knife with a replaceable razor. And you go ahead and you just, wow, there is no room in here, by the way, just so everybody knows. It sucks. But that razor, you gotta lock it. There's a little lock mechanism in there. At least there used to be. I don't know what happened to it. It's supposed to be a lock mechanism. You're not supposed to be able to do anything, but there it is. Cut through. Once you cut through those, pops right off just like that. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I want to grab this guy here. There's where the split is. I think I ran something over and it pinched it and it broke. And that's another thing, another reason why you don't want to put a chemical in that little tank, because if something like that does happen, William, you be careful out there. If something like that does happen and you're going down the road, you're not going to see it from the cab. It's just going to dump everything out, and that's it. It dumps it out. And you don't want that to happen. Trust me. I mean, you could use that water tank for many different things, like washing a chemical spill down the drainage ditch if you have a problem like that. But yeah. So if you see here, that's the flush tank. You can go pull from the main tank or the flush tank. You can run it through the boom, bypass, chemical fill, and yeah, that works really good to do those things. When you pull from that tank, it'll suck it out of there and actually put it in the top of that tank if you're not spraying with it. So, and these are the adjusters there, and everything seems to be working freely so far. A lot of times they do get kind of bound up from sitting if they sit too long, And oh, this one is a little tight. So there's a shaft that goes in there, and if that shaft, and that shaft will rot off. It'll cavitate around that thing and break it off, and then it's junk. But there's the exit hose. So I have to get going on that, so I'll shut up now. So I've got the old hose here, and I figured I didn't want to half-ass this video. If you do, it's always better to have twice as much as you need, because you never know when this operation is going to need to take place again. And I've got 2 sprayers, and they do take these hoses. There's another piece of hose over here that can be... William, where are you? Come on. There's these 2 pieces of hoses. If you break another one, you can put a bayonet coupler in there. Bayonet coupler, I guess they call those. And you can stab that in there, clamp a new one in, fix your broken thing, and get on your way. So what I'm going to do is very simple. I'm just going to measure it out like that and cut it. But I need 2 hands, and I'm going to shut this off. I had somebody come in, so I had to kind of keep an eye on William. He's out there on his tricycle. And for the most part, people are really respectful when they come in here. But once in a while, you have an idiot. And idiots can kill your kids, and they just won't. They don't care. What do they care? All right, let's see if I can cut my dick off here. It's about how I feel sometimes with these knives. Well, here, let's do it this way. The razor knife is really sharp, but it pinches real easy. And it would love nothing more than to cut me. So you kind of got to be smart about it. I think I've filmed myself getting cut in the past. And of course, there's a few assholes out there like, ha, serves you right, you moron. You pulled the knife towards you. Well, being safety minded is kind of what we need to be. But a lot of times we're not. A lot of times we're not, because we're kind of in a hurry trying to get everything done. But we've had rain and rain on the way right now, so I'm not really in that big of a hurry. But I will be getting in a hurry, because once I get this sprayer ready to go, I'm going to jet and put on nitrogen for corn. So let me put this thing on here. What does green do?
Red means stop.
Red means stop, but in this case, it's backwards. I honestly think that green on a camera should mean it's running, and red means that it's not. But, you know, sometimes the Chinese just don't get that right. I shouldn't rail on the Chinese. They're really our friends. They only want to take everything that we have. Right? Oh my God. Somebody's coming in. His dad. Get that started. And we'll put that on there, like so. And generally would like to put a lubricant on there, which is what I'm going to do. So the lubricant that I used was dielectric grease. And oh my God, I'm gonna have to crawl under there. Oh. Okay. What do we got there? Let's see what we can do. Pretty certain if I do that, I got my cardboard, and I could cuss and swear a while. Yeah, that's it. A little dielectric grease on that thing will help it go on. A little twist and turn there. Oh my goodness. I'm just trying to get the thing on there, William. It is all the way on. Holy moly. Always do the hard side first in my experience, because guess what, ladies and gentlemen? If you do the easy side first, it's just a whole lot harder, because generally, in my experience, you got to take the hard side or the easy side back off again, which then becomes hard. And then you got to start all over again. And these DeWalt 1/4-inch impact guns are just awesome. These are got a little smoke going on there. Then pull it around to that. Cool. So may as well just leave you right there. I don't like trying to re-thread these clamps while they're while the hose is on. See how easy that was? There it is. Then you do this. All right? It's like, okay. And now we got a suction hose on. Voila! Next thing on the list of things to do. A, retrieve the camera. Oh. I'll probably be cutting some stuff out of this one. Okay, so the next thing I have to do is on my boom raise and lower. Not raise and lower. My boom unfolding operation. There's 2 solenoids down here. 1, 2. And one of them is bad. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this or disconnect this. And I can move these hoses around a little bit. And then I can get in there to pop those solenoids off to figure out which one is bad. Because out on the others, my parts sprayer that I've got out there, the old 750 Commander, I've been picking parts on it off, and on the back of that one, they're a little different on that one than they are on this one. Yeah, see, these are different than the ones that are on that one out there. But the one out there, the ones on the back here, are the same as the ones underneath, I believe. I'm going to go out there right now and look. If that's the case, that's what I'm going to do. If not, I'm going to call up and I'm going to get one of those barrels there and see what happens, because I'm pretty sure I know one of them is bad. It's a pain in the ass to unfold it when it's like that. So here we go.